Thank you, Father Jaspers, Reverend Fathers, any honored guests here, and my dear brothers. My vocation starts senior year of high school when I am leading a retreat, and I have in my small group named Connor Orabut, who said that he wanted to be a priest, and I thought that was really weird. But I'm just kidding. But my vocation actually starts much earlier than that. When I was young, I just assumed I was going to get married because it just makes sense to me. I wouldn't even think of anything else I would have done. I had a beautiful example of a Christian marriage in my mom and dad at home, who constantly showed through example what virtue is and how to live a virtuous Christian life, and made constant sacrifices every single day, big and small, ones I may not even know about, for my sisters and I, for us to have a good home and a good Catholic education. I would not be here today without them. But still, despite that, I struggled with having a relationship with God. I looked at my peers and those I knew. I saw all the gifts they had, and I saw that I didn't have those. I thought if God loved me, he would have given me all these gifts, but I don't have all those gifts. Therefore, he must not love me. Most tollings. But, so I hid myself from God for a long time. It wasn't until later on in high school when some good friends in my life really started to push me closer to the faith. Whether it was asking how they can pray for me, inviting me to certain events, or even one specific friend who was even worse at basketball than I am, said that if he made a half-court shot, I had to go to this parish event, and he's never made one before. I said, sure, and look at me now. So all these people in my life helped me to realize that the Lord was providing for me in ways that I never even could have imagined. I thought that I had to be perfect to have a relationship with Christ, but Christ was calling me to have a relationship with him right there and then, because I realized for the first time that Christ loved me through my weaknesses, not despite them. And that completely changed my perspective on what a loving father is. So after that moment, I got very involved at my parish. And the more and more I got involved, the more I looked at my priest hero and now pastor of 18 years, Monsignor Dan Hermes. Monsignor Dan is Christ to every single person he meets and Christ every single place he goes. And I don't think there's any better way you could ever describe a priest than that. And so I would see him celebrate the Mass, and I'd ask myself, how would I celebrate Mass? I would hear him give a great homily. I'd ask, what would I give a homily about this Sunday? What would I tell teenage me in the confessional? How could God use me to save souls? These questions kept spinning around in my head, but I ignored them because I thought as a senior in high school, I had my life all figured out. I thought the seminary thing is a phase. Maybe when I'm 40 and I haven't found the one, then maybe I'll think about going. But seminarians are perfect, and I wasn't, so I thought it wasn't for me. So I decided to attend the University of Dayton, go Flyers, and while I was there, I loved it. It was a place of immense growth and just getting to experience more of how the Lord was taking care of me. But still, while I was there, I knew deep down, no matter how great of an experience it was, that wasn't where God wanted me to be. I had a feeling that where he wanted me to be was seminary, even if I kept pushing that thought away. And it wasn't until a few months in, one evening at Mass, where the Lord flooded me with graces that are indescribable in a way that he's only done a few times in my life. It was there that I heard a voice, almost like someone standing right next to me, telling me to go. And it was there that I realized that God wasn't calling me to be perfect. He wasn't calling me to know what 10, 15, 20 years down the road was going to be. He was just calling me to trust him enough to take his hand and take the next step. So I contacted the Diocese of Rockford. I applied, and 2.5 years later, the Lord has continuously shown how he has constantly provided for me every single day in ways that are beyond my imagination. He has blessed me in showing me the joys that the priesthood could bring me. And I am so eternally grateful that Christ pulled me out of the water and put me onto his boat to claim me as his own. Praise be Jesus Christ.
Now and forever.